So we're here, the very first Fuel podcast. So we're excited to have you with us, Faisal, Mr PMA.
That's it, that's me.
So
the man himself.
God, you've got a very big CV, author, fitness coach, elite men's health, Hyrox MC, family man.
Just a few.
Anything else on the list?
Movement online coach, which is getting launched today on Sky UK TV.
Amazing.
Just letting you know.
Yeah. Stuff.
Yeah, that's it. And Instagram, you could probably class that as something.
And also previously a celebrity coach.
I once was. Yeah.
Harry Styles.
Yep.
Ellie Goulding.
Yeah.
John Newman.
Yeah.
Amazing.
David Beckham, Guy Ritchie, just saying.
David Beckham.
Those names.
David Beckham, yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
One session.
What did you do with him on that one session?
He did a Barry's bootcamp class. It wasn't really a personal training class, but he was in my class. He was doing what I was saying.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And we are going to start by asking you. You are a fueler, so you obviously enjoy fuel hubs, which is amazing, and we save you an hour a day at least. So we're going to ask all our guests the same question. What do you do with that hour a day?
Ideally, what I do with the hour a day and what I'd want to do more in that hour would be spend more time with my children, because as you guys know as parents, working as hard as we do, it's hard to get that time back. So. And funny enough, that time when I'm eating a fuel hub is at the dinner table when I'm with the kids as well. So it's kind of a weird juxtaposition of the two. Just more time with the kids.
That's great. That's probably what I personally would have said as well. I think getting the time back with your family, you're busy, everyone's busy at the minute, work, kids, trying to train. So to get that time back with the kids, quick microwave meal, 3 minutes, done.
Yeah.
Gives you your time back.
And it literally is that as well. It's like it's not a catchphrase, it's not a marketing tool. I actually do it 3 minutes 10 seconds just for an extra little bit of heat.
Well, speaking of 3 minutes, we want you to tell us in the time it takes to heat up a fuel up, which is 3 minutes or 3 minutes 10 in your case.
Okay, go on.
We want to know all about you from start to finish, your life in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
From like the beginning when I was born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
All right, I was actually born in Saudi Arabia. My dad's Egyptian, and I was born in Saudi Arabia, lived in Cairo for the first year of my life. Then we went to Ireland, because my mum's Irish. I'm definitely a mixed salad bowl of cultures. Lived in Ireland for about 2 years, then came to London. I think I was 4, and I've been in London ever since. And what have I done since then? I actually wanted to be an actor for a very long time. So obviously coming out of school and college and whatnot, I didn't go to university, but I was lucky enough to get involved in a lot of they call it special action extras, where you work on Hollywood movies just in the background. And then big bang, see, Hollywood, action. I was going to go down the route of being a stuntman, because a lot of my friends trained for the stunt register, and they're all amazing stuntmen now. But then I got a phone call from a friend saying, out in LA and I've just done a Barry's bootcamp class. I'm speaking faster than normal, so who's timing this, by the way? 3 minutes. And she said, you should be a Barry's bootcamp instructor. And I was like, what's Barry's bootcamp? So I Googled it. It looked really weird at the time. It looked like soft porn. It was a bit strange. But they just opened up a location in London, and I thought I'd give them a message. And basically I was one of the first trainers in the first Barry's bootcamp in London, and that kind of set me off on what I actually wanted to do in my life. Up until then I was just kind of blagging it. It's like the law of attraction. Things were kind of just coming to me, and I was just taking advantage of the moment. But that was the pinnacle moment where I was like, do you know what? I enjoy this. I enjoy this fitness game. I can actually make money out of it. I can do it as a career and a job. And through that environment, obviously a lot of celebrities came through the door and VIPs, and that's when just things got bigger and bigger. I got a manager, and then at the end of every single session, I would say, reach up, make your body 10 feet tall, clench your fists and pull down your positive mental attitude. And because I did that at the end of every single session, my clients and members, they inflicted upon me the title of Mr PMA. So that's where the Mr PMA came from. PMA Fitness kind of was born and grew, and then just so many things. I've experienced so many things. I've been a Nike master trainer, where I've flown around the world to America and South America and all of Europe, and I've done some incredible things with them. I've done so much that I actually need to get a journal out. I need to write it down, because I'm going to forget it all.
Write a book.
And I want to tell, and I wrote a book.
Yeah.
I wrote a fitness book, not a life book.
I should have done homework
so
on that.
The PMA method is weird, because when my manager's like, oh, let's do a book, and I was like, what, me, a book? Like, I'm not there yet, I didn't see it. And yeah, so it's a 14-day program. Training, and then there's 50 meals and there's 50 recipes in there, not Fuel Hub. This was way before Fuel Hub. So I've got a book, and like, yeah, you're kind of best-selling author at the time and whatnot, so it's just a bit weird. So it's kind of like, do a book, tick that, get on the front cover of Men's Health, tick, done that. So in terms of like career highlights, they're definitely one of them. I've also, it'll be good. He's saying 3 minutes.
3 minutes, done. Cut.
Can we have a bit
So much
longer,
more.
maybe?
It's amazing.
Okay, career highlight. Hang on. Career highlight was, so I'm good friends with Joe Wicks, the body coach, and at the time I don't even ask what year it was, but he was going for the world record for the biggest outdoor workout, and it was at the British Summertime in Hyde Park. The night before, Justin Bieber was on the stage, and then the day after, he's like, do you want to come up and warm up the crowd? And I was like, absolutely yes. And I probably went a bit too hard on it. So I'm on this huge stage. There's over 3,800 people, and the DJ's playing music, and I'm just on this stage, and it's like that moment of like warming up that crowd for him was insane.
I actually saw this morning, when I was doing all my research on you, even though we know you really well, I was just seeing what else I could find, and I could see that he'd done this amazing quote about you.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was.
It was something like, if you think so Joe Wick said, if you think I get you motivated, this guy will get you started even more, or something.
Oh, get you out of bed in the morning or something. It was amazing.
He's a good guy, Joe Wicks.
Yeah.
But and that was definitely one of my highlights of my career, just having that moment, because I love interaction with people. I love getting that vibe off of them, and especially when they've like either followed your workout, or more importantly, when I try to like impose my will on people without constantly doing it. It's like, hopefully after an hour or 5 minutes with me, you'd be like, oh, I feel a bit more energetic. Yeah, I like to put that on people a little bit. So
well, spreading the message is the main thing for me. The benefits you get from being healthy, being fit, the stuff you're doing with your ice baths, diet, nutrition, the link between everything just for your general well-being is huge.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that's kind of like, in the beginning it was more of like an Instagram thing. Oh, I'll do a Motivation Monday message each day, and if you go back to some of the first ones I was doing years ago, they're probably a bit cheesy. Whereas now they're a bit more authentic, because I've like lived a little bit. Like I've gone through life, and I've gone through ups, and I've gone through many downs, and it kind of like rounds you as a person. So I would definitely say like, experiencing life and getting older makes what you say a bit more authentic and relatable and believable as well. Like if I'm telling someone to like always try and listen to the positive, message, and they want to kind of believe you. So hopefully when I do those like, real talk messages, I don't do them as often as much, but when I do them, hopefully people will be like, kind of like when I listen to David Goggins, or I'm like, okay, cool, yeah.
I was just going to say, actually, it's quite a different approach, because a lot of that, you are really relatable, and I think that's why people like you, because especially people, I think you're really inclusive. I think you've got everything, with like, and I think because of that positive mental attitude that you have, and you kind of, focus on, because there are, I love David Goggins, like, because I love that style of,
Just real
but
talk,
it's not for everybody, and that softer approach, and more listen, hey, and I think that's why you are so relatable to so many different audiences.
Thanks.
And that's the message. People don't realise what quality of life you can have just changing little habits, whether that's just something with your diet, cutting down on sugar, getting up and doing a workout in the morning, having a cold shower. These little changes can have such a positive impact on your daily life. Like, people think it's the norm to feel a bit down, a bit crap, a bit sluggish, but it's not. Just a small change, whether that's maybe fasting a bit in the morning, or having a black coffee instead of milk in the morning, or just changing your breakfast. That can have such a positive impact on your whole day. And with your platform, just trying to get these little messages across is amazing.
I think consistency as well is like, so all of that like won't work if you don't have consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the majority of people lack.
Oh, this won't. Them changes won't happen overnight.
Yeah,
it takes
exactly,
time.
So, and it's, you know, like people referencing like ice bath, like cold water. I've only been doing it consistently for about 2 years, and I'm only just like
starting
feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 2 years of doing something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Like, it may look nice and a bit of a thirst trap, me standing in my boxers, getting into the water and coming out all wet and dripping or whatever, but like, I hate it.
Every single time you go,
every time.
it doesn't get easier, does it?
No, that moment where I'm walking up to the tank and I've taken off the lid and whatever, I'm just like, hate this, don't want to do it. And it's outside, so if it's raining or cold or grey or whatever, like now when it's summertime, it's lovely, it is a little bit nicer, but I hate every second of it. And then when I get out, I actually love it.
You feel great.
Yeah. It's a complete spin on the head. It's amazing.
It's the same with the cold showers. Michelle will tell you, I've been having cold showers for years, like 4 or 5 years, every single day. And it doesn't get easier every day. I turn it cold.
Worse than cold water.
I put it to cold, and I must have done thousands of these now. And every time to do that initial step in there, it's hard. But that's how you grow stronger, how your body adapts.
That's the consistency though. That's what the majority of the people in demographic, they kind of, well, a little bit lazy, or they don't have the willpower or the mental strength to stick at it, because you don't see the reward or the benefit within a day, within a week, within a month. This is a like you said, it's a lifestyle. So your life is such a long span, so you need to really stick to it.
We're all used to getting things so quick now.
Yeah, that's
we
it.
all want
In this
instant
generation,
results,
it's
so
mad,
this is
innit?
why there's all these crazy diets and crazy stuff, and we always say to people, you know, all these little hacks, like James said, getting enough sleep, keeping hydrated, throwing some electrolytes into your water every day, eating real clean food. There's no substitute. You know, you can get these meal replacements and you know, all these crazy juices and whatnot, but just a good clean meal with no seed oils, loads of protein, dead clean. There's just no.
This is a longevity thing. These changes you're making now and the habits you're creating now, these will benefit you when you're in later life. I'm talking 70s, 80s. If you want to live a longer, but not just like a healthier, longer life where you're actually still active when you're in older age. This is from the stuff you're doing now.
One of my goals is to be able to smash my son for as long as possible in any physical activity.
He's so
when he's 18 years old, I still want to be able to beat him. Like, I'll be like, right, Rafi, pick anything you want to do. Let's race. Like,
when I was picking,
and I'll be 60 or 70, but I still want to be, because I'm 39 right now, and a lot of people think like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm 30. To say I'm 40 next year is mad. How old are you?
32.
32.
I'm 42 nearly.
What?
Yeah, I'm nearly 42. I'm
back to toy boy.
I'm going to trade her in for a younger woman soon.
I might trade you in for a younger man.
Yeah, exactly. But to say I'm 40 next year, it just
you look amazing.
It doesn't like compute. I don't feel it. I don't feel it in my mind. I don't feel it in my body, and it's because I'm doing all these. To be fair, I've started quite late in my life doing all these things, and like Rafi being 6 years old, like wanting to get into an ice bath and ask me why am I doing that, and I'm not lucky. Sorry, I'm grateful that I've got a gym in my house, and he's coming in, and he's. You know, I didn't experience that when I was 6 years old. So it's like, what change is that going to have on him?
Our children seeing us doing these little habits. Me and Michelle, we love the sauna. He sees us in the sauna and he's desperate to get in. He's only 4, so I won't put him in just yet.
The 12-year-old goes in it though.
Alfie, our 12-year-old, goes in it. But even doing weights, he's watching me doing weights. He started doing press-ups. This is my youngest, he's 4. He started looking at weights. He's lifting dumbbells up.
It's amazing.
Like all these little stuff that he's seeing, it's just, he thinks it's the normal. So when he's old enough, he will do these habits. He sees me eating fruit, eating healthy, eating Michelle, seeing Michelle eat healthy. And he wants to do the same.
So when we were kids, obviously completely, because we're the similar age, very different world. Like I would come home from school and I'd sit down, watch Nickelodeon, and I'd have 2 chocolate bars, a pot noodle. Mum would come home, make me something out of the freezer.
Frey Bentos pie.
What was your childhood food like? What was your?
My childhood food was, fairly. I mean, home cooked meals. Like my mum was a good cook, my dad was a great cook, so he comes from a real big, Arabic family. So there'd be a lot of rice and chicken and tabbouleh and this dish called moussaka, which is like eggplant
Lovely.
and like meat and whatever. So, but pot noodles was definitely something that I had. Penguin bars, chocolate penguin bars.
Penguin, yeah.
I'd smash penguin bars.
Blue ribbons, do you remember
Blue
them?
ribbon as well. Yeah.
Some of your nan would have that,
come back
wouldn't it?
from
Blue
school,
ribbon.
have a little snack of a crisps and a chocolate bar, sit down and watch some TV. We only had 5 choices back then.
Did you not have cable?
No, not
Cable TV?
no.
You're American?
Yeah, no cable.
before.
We had cable before Sky.
I remember the launch of Channel 5.
I do.
Spice Girls.
I can remember that.
How were you?
I was like, well, we're getting an extra channel. I was like, whoa, 5 channels. Imagine only having 5 choices. You go on there, you got it's mad, but like
We used to have a film. We used to have a film on a Friday night, Channel 5 film. It was like, what's on this week? Channel 5 film. It was like Universal Soldier, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It was amazing.
It's mad to think about how we were as kids. And now our kids are everything that you just said, like Rafi looking at you, doing everything you're doing. I mean, it was just, my dad used to go on bodybuild and he used to have like creatine, but not in a different way than it is now. It's a different world completely. So we are lucky, and hopefully our kids will be a product of obviously our hard work and knowledge. Knowledge is power and everything that we know. You mentioned something before, I'm really interested in this. So you always wanted to be on the cover of Men's Health, and in 2022 you made it, which is really exciting. I want to know, how does that happen? Do they just call you and go, hey, guess what?
You're a cool guy. I want to put you on the front.
I want to know how it works.
Yeah, do you know what? I got asked that question a lot, and it's funny who comes out the woodworks going, oh, how did you get on the front cover? Barry's Boot Camp opened a lot of doors. So when I was working at Barry's Boot Camp, obviously you get a lot of press, you get a lot of journalists and stuff. So you're rubbing shoulders and creating relationships with all these people. And one of the guys, he was the editor of the online Men's Health, and but again, it helps as well when you're training Ellie Goulding, who at the time was like having #1 hits and stuff like that. So and when you're then known as her personal trainer, people want you. It's all about like take, and
who you know.
And who you know. So it was being in that moment, but then like that wasn't just luck. It's again, it's that law of attraction. It's that likability, and I think that just comes from my parents. Like my dad's this, he was this big charismatic person. My mum was always out walking and doing sports and stuff. I actually get all my athleticism from my mom's side. So it's the combination of having that from my parents, I think, just attracts people in those moments, and I just like chatting to people. So that's how I got into the Men's Health little world, and they started doing stuff on Instagram and try this Ellie Goulding workout from her personal trainer and stuff like that. But they didn't ask me to be in the front cover. Right. I asked them multiple times. I was like, Dave, why is this geezer on the front cover again? Why have you used him for the 3rd time? I was like, come on. So honest to God, it took about 2, maybe 3 years of me actually asking him, messaging him. Every time I saw him, I'd be like, bro, Come on.
I love that.
Can I get on the front cover? Yeah. And then it was actually annoying because it was it 2002 you said?
22.
22. So 2021, December, he rings me up going, right, February, first week, 2nd, front cover. I was like, bro, I'm about to eat everything. It's Christmas, like the worst time to get ready for a photo shoot, because you obviously restrict a little bit. You want to look a little bit leaner and everything. So I was just like, so I had no chocolate, nothing over Christmas. But then
boring Christmas out then.
That was that. June. Then was it June?
No. So the photo shoot was on February, and then it came out in June or something. Amazing. So but it
so did you go to WH Smith with all the family?
I did. Yeah, with WH Smith. I remember going into an M&S, a BP petrol station
in the airport. That's one. Always grab a Men's Health in the airport.
It's funny, buying it as well, put it on the counter, and then the guy or the girl just looking at it.
You look like him. You really do look like him.
One day.
But my brother looks like me a lot, right? And he went in to buy it, and the geezer thought it was him.
Did he go, yeah, it's me?
Went, yeah.
Love it. Amazing.
Class.
Good stuff.
Class. Right, so moving on, one thing that's big at the minute, morning routines, daily routines. From when you wake up, what time are you waking up, how does your day look, how does your morning look?
So there's two different scenarios. On a working day, it looks like either a 5 or a 5:30 a.m. wake up. My bag's pre-packed the night before to save on time. I actually go through a skincare routine. So there's like this L'Oreal step, no plug intended, but so you do a face wash, you do like a vitamin C serum, that's it, and then you moisturise.
Very important. People don't know that.
I need this.
You can't go straight to moisturiser. You've got to hit the serum.
I didn't know that until now.
That's the most important thing.
So there's 4 steps. So you do the face wash, you do the serum, you do the moisturiser, and then you do the eye roll.
Nice.
To get there, because in the morning, so that's a genuine part of my morning routine on a working day, and then I'll jump on the bike, my bicycle, go to the station, and then head into London for whatever I've got to do. I've got so many different multiple all modalities of work.
So breakfast, coffee, anything before you leave?
No, nothing. I'd have a hydration sachet in one of these bad boys, just to get my electrolytes and sodium and potassium in there, and I probably wouldn't eat anything until either 7 or 8, and it generally would either be the chocolate hazelnut overnight oats, or I love banana bread. So as soon as I the first time I went onto the extra bit, choose your extras,
25.
and I was like,
getting carried away.
Banana bread, boom. I was like, yes, it's so good. I love banana bread. So that's probably what I have in the morning for breakfast, and then crack on with the day. On a day where there's no work, it's the kid routine. You'd wake up and brush their teeth and get
school
their
run, change,
do the school run, which is either cycling to school, Rafi, or walking.
Do all the parents like high five you and stuff in the morning?
It's funny, obviously through Instagram, like when they I don't know how, but when they found out, like, I followed you on Instagram, and, you're famous. I'm like, no, I'm not. I really am not. Trust me, I'm not famous whatsoever. But then, they just think, well, you kind of are a little bit in their eyes, but they think you're this like fitness guru and stuff like that. So, and then they see you like go on TV and like, but you were on Loose Women. And I was like, yeah, I was on Loose Women. Because obviously on Instagram you promote yourself and you push it, but then when you're in normal life and you're dropping off the kids, it's like I'm just like, I was on TV yesterday, like sort of stuff. So, but you want to be humble and you want to be nice, and but yes, I was at Rafi's Sports Day yesterday, and I was shouting my head.
I saw it, and he did so well. His little legs, I know.
But all the other dads and the mums are just quite quiet, whereas I'm there just going large. Like,
we had Stan this the other day, and we were the loudest, weren't we? He's only 4. It's not even 5 yet.
I said to Michelle, I said, I'm going to take him to the park after because he's not won that race. I was like, we're training later.
Rafi came 7. It was a 300-metre run. They were melting, but I was like, to Louis, I was like, I'm taking him to the park on the weekend.
Proper disappointed.
We're going to buy some hurdles, aren't we? And he didn't want the egg and spoon race, but the hurdles,
Michelle went and gave him a pep talk halfway through. Was like, you're not going to get that present if you don't win this
I made him cry.
We're not competitive parents.
Good stuff. So, just in terms of family life then, obviously, because you're so big on Instagram now, which is amazing, and we can see you growing. It's great to see, and you will get stopped in places when you're out and about with the kids, and it's just comes from a good place. People want to meet you and stuff like that. How do you balance? Obviously, you've got Mrs PMA at home. You've got obviously Rafi and Cleo, and it's like how you're so busy. How do you balance the kind of family life with the work life?
It's difficult. It's not easy. Louise does the lion's share of like the family life, which is fantastic, and as you guys know, like you need to support each other, and but she's got the hardest job. Like, I'm busy and I'm out and whatever, and and it may look like all lights and cameras and bits of glam and stuff, but she's got the hardest job. Like being a mum 24/7, I couldn't be a parent for 24 hours of every day. Couldn't do it, but she loves it, and it's difficult. The balance is hard at sometimes. Especially when I'm on the road, like doing a lot of stuff for Hyrox as well. That I was towards the end of the season just gone now, I've had 7 weekends where I was in a different country, and a normal you'd fly out Friday, come back either Sunday morning or Sunday night. That's every weekend. So I've missed Rafi's football every Saturday. Missed doing little things like going swimming or whatever with them, and then like to help share the load, my mum would come over or her mum would come over, but then I don't see my mum because and she she wants to see her son or whatever. So it's difficult. I have to remind myself, like I'm out there, yes, one, making money, two, networking and making my profile big and whatever. And obviously I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely love it. But then when you come back and you get, there's no rest. People go, so you're resting tomorrow. I'm like, what? Rest? I've got 2 kids at home. Like, there's no such thing as a rest, or like the bathroom door handles that needs fixed. Like, where
you gotta do something like husbandly.
Straight away. And because obviously then I come home and Louise goes, right, well, you just had an hour and a half on a plane with no children by yourself. Here you go. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm knackered and tired, but you have to do it. So it's difficult, and there are moments where I feel overwhelmed and I feel burnt out. And I think when I get to those times where I start to feel stressed and I start to maybe have slight anxiety of like, I can't compute, I can't manage all this. It's like I just have to like maybe take myself back 5 or 10 years ago. What would Faisal then think of the Faisal I am now? And it's like, okay, cool. You're doing good.
You're in that point now where you're building your brand essentially, aren't you?
Yes.
And you are your brand. And James and I have been through it. I mean, we're 5 years in now, and you get moments where you think, right, you always know you're doing it for your kids. You always know that's who you're doing it for, and to make a better life and all the rest of it. But then you think, I don't want to miss things. I want to be present. Well, then you've got to say to yourself, this is your moment where this growth is so big for you right now, and you keep going and going. So it's almost like if you do stop, you're going to miss out on things, and you don't want to miss things. And like we're the same. Like we could have a day off, but we don't want a day off because we're building something, and one day we'll be able to all enjoy the fruits of our labour with our kids, and and it's instilling them hard work, but it is tough. Do you have a rule where at night, because your Instagram must be popping off all the time, do you have a rule where you go, right, I'm putting the phone down now?
I was chatting with James before we started rolling. When I get in the door, my wife will probably disagree with what I'm about to say, but I do my best to put my phone down and put it away, to completely switch off. I heard this thing where you have like block social media, so it's like from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. you'd have that 1 hour to go on social media, and then nothing until the next block of window that you give yourself. So I do my best. I'm definitely getting better at it, but I'm definitely just as bad, if that makes sense.
We try, don't we?
Yeah,
we try. It's tough.
Really hard.
As I mentioned to you before, when Stanley has swimming lessons for 45 minutes, no phone allowed. When he has football training, it's in the pocket, don't touch it, and just try and make these simple habits. And the kids see it. They know when you're not present and you're on the phone. It's hard, but it got to be done.
But I'm also like a huge film fanatic. I actually like content. So I'm not just there sometimes like just scrolling going. I actually enjoy, especially like content of myself, whatever, like how it looks and like, right, what's the theme, what's this, and I did an announcement that I was just joined Puma UK as one of their ambassadors, and the content that I recorded for that, I wanted it to be so good. So I enjoy making content as well. So it's not just so much like sitting and being on social media. I actually enjoy the process of creating that content and then uploading it, and then the rabbit hole starts of like likes and comments and engagement and whatever and blah blah blah, which is the bad side. But then on the flip side, when brands come to you going, oh, can we have your analytics please, like what's your demographic, and then you're like, so it's like you want to invest in social media because you want those numbers to be good for when that phone call comes, because that kind of settles what type of money you get on different brands. I mean,
Do you ever get, I'm sure you probably do, lots of DMs from people. Do you get any from people that are struggling a little bit?
Yes.
That's a big responsibility. How do you handle that?
Yeah, so at the beginning I felt I wasn't qualified, if that's the word, to like, it felt like it should be really going to a therapist, but again it's touching upon that point of like they've come to you because you're like relatable. So real quick story, and this was pretty amazing. I've done a few retreats. I've done 3 retreats, and I did it in the Cotswolds. And the first retreat that I did, it was amazing. It got sold out. It was like 22 people, and I only knew like 3 of them. I was like, where have all these other people come from? Like, it was really like nice to know that. This woman, right? Her name was Naya, and she stumbled across my Instagram when she was in India, and she was on her deathbed pretty much. Yeah. She was in a coma. She woke up from this coma, and she stumbled upon me. And she was looking at all my Instagram messages, and she didn't have the courage to message me, but she had the courage to come to my retreat. And then she told me this story, and it was one of the most, I don't know, those heartfelt connections. I was just like, what? And she's like, yeah, I was in this coma, and I woke up, and and she was very over.
What happened to her? What?
I've forgotten the condition. She got some sort of heart condition, and because she was overweight.
Yeah.
And then she lost all this weight, and she showed me a picture of her then and her now, and I was like, what? Literally 2 different people. But for me, like when I look back at when I had time to process it, it was like the reach of social media is mad, and then the message, like, hits people. I had a message the other week, and the guy said to me, just in case, he goes, you probably won't read this. I get that.
Yeah.
That intro starts quite a lot. You probably won't read this, and I do my best to go through all of them.
Yeah.
And he goes, just let you know, your Instagram. I did an Instagram post about how being positive is hard. Like having a positive mental attitude is a hard thing to do. It's a daily grind to try and find solutions and positive ways in every day and in every situation. And he was going, that message hit me so hard. Like, I just want to let you know, like, it meant everything to me. Like, keep doing what you're doing. So, when you get those messages, it just feels pretty awesome that you're having that link with that individual person. But then it's also very important to keep your feet on the floor, because some people could take that to their heads, and I see people who kind of then almost have this like hierarchy that they think they're slightly better than people and stuff. But then that's what happens when you're getting people telling you that every single day. But then again, it comes through experience. I think it comes through having children. Like that, you know, Rafi grounded me big time when he came into my life. But those messages where they talk about PMA and how it's helped them through dark times and suicidal thoughts and miscarriages, because you know I've experienced all those things, unfortunately. So when you get messages like that, especially from men, because we don't chat that much about that stuff, so I get messages from women saying, oh, on behalf of my husband, like he said this and that, and or would you be able to send him a message? And
it's amazing. And there's probably, well, there'd be so many that, you know, don't message you, that are affected positively by what you do, and you just don't hear about it. So that's amazing. But when you see it in black and white, it must be.
It's nice, isn't it? You get just like having a little pat on the shoulder, you know, it's like, good job.
We get so excited when we get messages from, like, when we get Trustpilot reviews from people, and people saying to us, like, it means so much to me, James, everybody. Like, when they say, you guys are genuinely making my life so much easier. Like, I've lost so much weight, or I've gained loads of muscle, whatever it is, and I'm finding I've got my time back. And we get these really excited people messages, and it literally lights us up inside. It's amazing. It's really, really good. So amazing. Cool. I've got one more important question that I want to ask you. So when we first met you, we were at Hyrox. And you came onto our stand, and this lovely lady with a friend came over to you, and you and I were chatting, and she said to you, excuse me, oh, we really love you, can I get a picture? So I went, I'll take it for you. So I got the camera, got the phone, and I was like, right, and she hugged you, and she sort of looked at you in your eyes really close and went, it's true what they say. You smell amazing. Do you remember that?
No.
She went,
you must get it that often, you can't remember.
So I want to know what it is that makes you smell so amazing.
It's Armani diamonds.
There you go. Oh. You can smell like,
I've wearing it for years.
It was hilarious. We were all dying. She was like, it's true what they say. They all say you do smell amazing.
Those days though are a blur to me sometimes. Like, so much happens, and I interact with so many people, but that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. It's nice when people act that way sometimes, because it's like, like, you know, you're just a normal person. And being in the mix of like Harry Styles and whatever, and you think, oh my God, they're this better person than you. They're not really.
Yeah.
And you come across certain celebrities and they're really, like Harry Styles is such a down-to-earth geezer. He's lovely. But then you look at the fame they have, it's mad, and how people treat them and stuff. So I just do my absolute best on those moments when people ask me for pictures and stuff, or they stop me at the airport or wherever I am. I just do my best to spend as much time with them as possible. Because they feel like they need to be in a rush. They're, I don't want to interrupt you, but can I get a picture? And I'm like, I'm just like, my whole demeanour is like, yo, what's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, where are you from? Like, what type of training do you do? Like, I try my best to give them that little window of time, just to, I don't know, like, if they're following me, and the least I can do is just give them a few minutes to like chat to them or whatever. And I never understood how sports personalities or whatever like just kind of don't do.
Well, you hear a lot of bad stuff, don't you? If somebody's rude to somebody, you'll always hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get certain celebrities or certain people would be inundated with like pictures and selfies, but if I was in that position, I would do like Tom Cruise. He goes through, on his premieres, he's famous for spending hours.
Yeah.
That's who I would be. Like, if
the smallest interaction with someone can make the day, the month, the year. Like just something so small. And
especially like things like Hyrox, where I see so many people and like the stories like, oh my God, like he's so humble and it was amazing and thank you so much, Mr PMA, and with the one and only, like all those lovely big things that could make someone's head like massive. And don't get me wrong, I definitely have traits of narcissism. Like to be in this position, to be an Instagram influencer or whatever, or you if anyone says they don't have traits of narcissism, they're lying to you. There are different levels of narcissism. It took me a long time to realise that I have some. But it's like, I enjoy the attention, I enjoy being in the spotlight. Like if I have an opportunity to do it, I'm like, yeah, put me in front of camera, sweet, let's go and do it. That's me. Go. So it's like having those messages and reposting their stories, making someone's day, goes a lot further than you actually think. So again, it's just spreading that message and just trying to be as happy as positive as possible.
Are you ever not positive?
Yeah, definitely. But this is what I was trying to say. Like, so being positive is hard. So because you have to. So there's the motivational speaker, Les Brown. Okay, is do you know Les Brown? He's an American motivational speaker. Like back in the I think it's the 80s. Anyway, so he said this thing about being negative. It's easy to be negative, it's easy to be lazy, it's easy to be unmotivated. Your mind is almost on automatic to go to those emotional states. But to choose not to be lazy, to choose not to be tired, to choose not to be unmotivated, to choose to be positive rather than negative, it's actually hard. It's a hard thing to do, to manually switch your mindset into that mode. And that just hit me so hard. I was like, it's so true. Like, yes, I find it a little bit easier to make those choices, but the word is to highlight is choice. It's still something I have to choose to do. It doesn't come to me like naturally or automatic. So yes, I feel
people have just become too comfortable in life. They've got warm showers on tap, they've got food on tap, they can humans weren't meant to have life that easy. Stress put your body under stress, and that's when you grow. Put your body in the ice, in heat, in training, all this sort of stuff is what we were made for, why we're put on earth. Cavemen went days trying to look for food, and that's how we've evolved. We wasn't meant to be comfortable 24/7.
Then would you, James? Looking for food for days.
I'd find something. I'd kill something and eat it.
Exactly. But touching on that, they only hunted when they were hungry as well. Like, and we talk about on tap, like people just snacking and eating.
It's like the fasting, the fasting now, but like people would have fast in them days and stuff, and like you didn't see fat people 50, 60 years ago. There wasn't all this processed food, all these bad seed oils, and you see.
I never understood the phrase "your eyes are bigger than your stomach" until I started like properly fasting through religious reasons for Ramadan. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So when you fast, your stomach shrinks down to its like original size. Because when you're eating, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, like you're actually making your stomach bigger than what it should be. And that's your eyes are bigger than your stomach. So when you eat the right amount of portion size meals, that's one thing that you guys
portion control.
nail. So when Louise, because my wife she loves it, by the way, she doesn't have to cook for me anymore. But she used to, I'd have like almost double the portion of what the whole family were having.
Yeah.
And her first question was like, is it enough in that box? And I'm like, well, this one's got 761 calories in it, so yeah. Like, and it fills me up. It's,
and if not, you can have some banana bread.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And getting the right amount of protein, 50 gram of protein in a meal, it's amazing.
So all the numbers, all the macros, all the macros.
That's Mark, macro man.
Yeah, he's the macro man. They're all like amazing numbers, and the reaction when I tell fellow like fitness people and stuff, they're like, what? 50 grams of protein and this amount of 80 grams of carbs and how many calories? I'm like, I think like your smallest calorie meal is like 400, which is still like a decent amount of
we want to be
calories.
athlete focused, people like yourself. We want to be high protein for our own sanity. We've never cut corners on protein or anything like that. We want to stick to our ethos, what we believe in, and that's sort of a high protein, quality ingredient meals.
I love it.
Because we work with so many teams as well, and athletes that are the top tier of sports, across football, cricket, everything, rugby, they need that protein. So we kind of design meals around them and then make them accessible to our direct-to-consumer business, which is all over the country. What is your favourite?
It's the chicken tabbouleh with the. Is that the right word?
Tzatziki.
Yes.
Like the couscous sort.
You can eat that cold on the go as well.
Love that. Yeah. Love that. It's just the taste when you mix it all in together.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-step process for me. Obviously, once it comes out of the microwave, because you guys slice the chicken breast up, but I then dice it up.
Yeah.
I then add in the
tzatziki.
I then add in the tzatziki. That's step 2. Then step 3 is just to mix it all up. Yeah. So aesthetically, it doesn't actually look that pleasing.
Do you eat it from the tub or on a plate?
Majority of the time from the tub.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling posh, I put it into a plate. And when I'm sitting down with the family, I put it into a plate.
And obviously, we're sustainable with all our packaging. Does that mean a lot to you as well?
It probably means more to my wife.
Yeah.
And obviously, doing the part for the environment is a good thing. But I think it means more to me in terms of when I speak about Fuel Hub. It's like, and also it's sustainable because obviously everyone's ready to like
jump on
it or like chop you down the second there's something wrong or whatever. So I'm like, hold your horses. It's all right.
No plastic here.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's that's I think that's just like a little bonus to what you guys do here in terms of making sure, like you said, there's no cutting of any corner.
No.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. So finally, what are your 3 rules that you live by?
My 3 rules that I live by. Hit me on the spot here, Michelle. Number 1 would always choose a positive mental attitude in any situation, regardless of what you're going through. I promise you, I could find a positive solution in your situation. So always have that. Number 2 would to be as present as possible in the real world. So do your best to, if I could be off social media, I would within a heartbeat. And number 3 would just any form of movement is medicine. Don't get wrapped up into what you see on Instagram with bulging muscles and sweat and people doing crazy challenges and running up this country and going around the globe, whatever. Like, just any form of movement, a walk, a cycle,
just a walk,
just something. It's medicine. So just do it. I think those 3. So always choose a positive mental attitude. Be present in the moment you're in, and then number 3 was just movement is medicine.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Boom. Nailed it.
Mic drop.
Oh.